Why do I like book distribution? I like it because it is for someone else's pleasure. It is for pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. So it is actually more pleasing to give pleasure to someone else than to oneself. We all have experienced that pleasing someone else is more pleasing actually. And not just because it's more pleasing, it's just, it's a duty, one just has to do it. When we speak of pleasing the spiritual master and pleasing Krishna, it is Nitya Sita Krishna Prema Satya Kabunaya Shravanati Shuta Chitte Kariyudaya. It is Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema, to love Krishna. And loving Krishna means loving all his energies and all his servants, all his devotees. So it is there eternally in the heart. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema. Nitya Siddha, eternally established. And Satya Kabunaya is Satya, to be gained. Satya, to be gained. Kabhu, from another place. And Naya, not. Shravanati Shuddha Chitte Karya Udaya. And that Krishna consciousness, that love of Krishna, Krishna Prema, that is invoked, Udaya, it arises by Shravanadi, beginning with Shravana. Shravana means to hear. Shravana Kirtana. And book distribution is Shravana Kirtana. Is that you speak of Krishna, you do book distribution, you naturally speak of Krishna. That's at least the highest level of book distribution, the level we should come to, where we present Krishna consciousness. We speak very directly that these books are about Krishna consciousness and how you'll be happy in the association of the Lord. So these books are Shravana, and it's also Prabhupada many times referred to book distribution as Brihat Mridanga. It is, first of all, these books were spoken by Srila Prabhupada. He spoke them on the dictaphone. They were transcribed. So they are kirtan. And Brihat Mridanga is the highest Mridanga. We are just presenting Prabhupada, who is we can say he's doing the pure kirtan, which is on the level of prema. Each and every word are so potent, and so we are just actually being the assistants, passing on this knowledge. So Prabhupada says that there's no difference between kirtan and book distribution. The only difference is that this is a higher kirtan. It is the Brihat Mridanga. And yes, so by doing book distribution, one is performing kirtan, and kirtan is pleasing the heart. The Sankirtan Yajna, that is meant for this age. How is the verse from 11th chapter? Krishna Varnang Trisha Krishnang Sango Bhangastra Parishadam Yajna Sankirtana Praya Yajansi Hisumeta Saha. The Sankirtan Yajna is Sankirtana Praya. That is an intelligent person. He will worship the Lord by performing this Sankirtan Yajna. And this Sankirtan Yajna will give all kinds, all satisfaction. Actually, to perform Yajna is the nature of the soul. To give, to sacrifice, to live for someone else, and that someone else should be the Supreme Lord. That is natural, because he should be worshipped most, because he deserves that worship. The Lord, he deserves that worship because he is so wonderful, and he's ultimately the giver of everything. all yajnas should be performed to please him. All activities should be done to please him. He's the owner of everything. He's the master of all the demigods, even of all planets. He's the real well-wisher. Suridang sarva bhutanam. So therefore, it is just natural that he's worshipped, and he is the real friend. He is the real friend that we all looking for a friend, for a real friend, and he is that real friend within the heart. We just have to satisfy him, and he deserves this worship. Birth after birth, he is there with us, fulfilling all our desires. Yantra Rudhani Maya. He's coming with us in every in birth after birth. He's there. Hrideshur Junatistate. How is the verse? Hrideshur Junatistate. He's there within the heart, and he's coming with us. You know, in this life, that life, next life. He's there with us and fulfilling all our desires. So he's to be worshipped, and the highest way to worship him is by book distribution. And you can say there was a philosophical reason why I personally like book distribution. It is not just something whimsical or speculative or sentimental. It is actually a great science that by doing book distribution, one will be happy. By spreading this spiritual knowledge, by spreading Krishna consciousness, one will be happy. And one of the greatest ways to spread this knowledge is to distribute the books. To distribute the books. That is very pure. Once Prabhupada said, what will your 2 minutes of speaking, of preaching do? You just give them these books. Just give the people these books. You will see, if you try to read one of Srila Prabhupada's books, there is something in these books which you cannot find anywhere else. These books are very unique. That's because they're coming from the spiritual world, and they are coming. They are, you can say, sound by a pure via media. Srila Prabhupada was a pure via media, that he could deliver the message of God without any contamination, not a single particle of contamination. When we speak, there may be, unless we're totally pure, there is some contamination. But Srila Prabhupada, he's the pure servant of the Lord. So there is just a pure message from the Lord. Uttama Shloka Mahat. How's the verse again? This is from the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Uttama Shloka Mahan Mukhachuto Bhavat Padam Bhoja Shudakanani Laha. Smriting Punar Vismrita Satsva Vartsmanang Kuyoginang no Vicharatya Langvaraihi. That the Saucham Ashloka Mahanmukhachuto, that which is spoken by the pure devotees, it is like the breezes coming from the Padam Bhoja, the lotus feet of the Lord. That sound carries, is like breezes, are carrying like breezes, the particles, nectar particles, Shuddha, nectar, and Kana particles, Ananilaha. What is that, Ananilaha? Shuddha, the nectar and Kana particles, and Ananilaha, it carries, I think it carries. So they are carried and Srila Prabhupada distributed these distributed these particles of nectar all over the world, actually. They were profusely distributed and went into the hearts of so many people. When this transcendental sound comes into enters the ears and enters the heart of anyone, then that heart is purified, and one again Smriting punad vismrita tatsva vartmanang. One again remembers his identity as a servant of the Lord. Kuyoginang no vicharachalang. Even though one has, for so long time, one has forgotten the Lord. So what is the need of anything else than listening to the pure sound of the representative of the Lord? That pure sound is carried by the pure representative of the Lord. When we distribute books, we will experience something very unique. One just has to try it. I like very much to distribute books. There's a certain happiness one experiences distributing books, and you will also experience that if you try. Hare Krishna.